who are the losers of those recent labor budgets? Almost all Australia, actually. Why? As per Labor's own prediction, tenants' rent will go up, the property price will go down. We all know in Australia, 67% of Australia are property owners and 33% are tenants. So when the rent is going up, the property price will drop. Is that correct? 100% almost of the property of Australian people will suffer. So effectively, the recent Labor government policy is a tax to the tenants and the penalty to property owners of almost all Australian people. Just like the American Donald Trump foolishly tried to say they are tax all the importers or benefits American people, which is not. Because a tax to the importer is actually a tax to American people themselves. But most people didn't realize that, just tax the importers is good for us, which is not, because importers have a business to run. They need a profit margin to keep running the business, to keep the employment going. And so effectively, they will just pass the tax to the consumers. So same with those recent tax hike in there. So investor, they already have, and when they do the elective gearing, they already have running a trading loss. So they can't afford to further loss. They will just have to increase the rent to cover their further loss. That's why the rent will go up, and it will go up a lot higher than they predicted, $2 and per week, as the Labor government predicted. Because if you look at history in 1985, and when the massive price increase for the rent increase, and after the Labor abolished the negative gearing, and they have to quickly reintroduce negative gearing to cool down those the rent increase there. So when the investor have to sell, when the business owner have to sell the business, which will affect the employment, and which will employ less people, will cost the employment higher as well, and which with the less incentive to buy property, and with more people have to sell to avoid the 30% trust tax, and which will increase the demand. That's why will affect the property value significantly. Therefore, almost 100% of Australian people will be affected by the recent Labor governments. Think about it. It's not the tax. This policy is not just tax the rich, which is false. It's not just benefits the first home buyer, and which is not. If you look at the policy, there's hardly any change for the first home buyer other than the existing policy. But 100% of Australian people almost is paying the price. Food for thought.